Ladies and gentlemen, our MVP for the Bills game was Cameron Johnston.
Hey, we got a punter, man. That's the best thing I can get out of this game. It's the best thing, man. We got ourselves a punter.
Hey, we got something. We got to walk away with something.
Yeah, we got ourselves a punter, and I don't think we have ourselves a quarterback because I don't know what that was tonight, man. Justin Fields and Russell Wilson got all the playing time.
No Kyle Allen. Nor do we need to see Kyle Allen. We need to see how Russ was going to do and how Fields was going to do.
Although I will say Kyle Allen so far is the only quarterback to get the Steelers a touchdown in the preseason.
Ouch.
I'm not saying it's a Mason Rudolph situation, but just saying.
It probably isn't, but I mean, like, that's not even a good thing to hang our hat on to.
Well, I'll put it this way. Justin Fields played pretty much the entire second half with second string, third string guys against second, third string guys. He had chance after chance to get down the field and to finish drives, and he couldn't. He had himself one great flashy play on a third down where he escaped a sack and made a great throw to the sideline to Dez Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that was the typical vintage Justin Fields type play. And he'll usually do that. He'll make that one crazy play that you look back on and think, wow, this guy has it. This guy can be somebody. But then after that, it's like you question, how is this man a starting quarterback?
His inconsistent issues are still a thing. From Chicago now to Pittsburgh. It's just...
I mean, the play before that play to Dez Fitzpatrick, he had a wide-open T.J. Luther, who he recently signed. He had him wide open in the end zone, and he overthrew him.
He overthrew him so bad, T.J. Luther had a 40-inch vertical, and it still couldn't catch it. Like, that ball sailed. He was wide open.
The man could have a rocket pack to the back of him, and he couldn't catch it.
Like, that is a throw that a starter cannot miss. And if you're trying to compete to be the starter, you cannot miss that. Especially since when you look at the result of this game, a touchdown would have won it. A touchdown would have won the game.
Yeah.
But Justin Fields, in my opinion, didn't look great. Did he look better than Russ? I guess. And the only reason I say that is because Russ didn't get much of an opportunity to show us what he can do. He looked healthy. He looked fine out there in terms of movement. He made zero mistakes. I'll say that about Russ, but that's the extent of the good I can give you about Russ because he had no time to do anything. The O-line sucked. Our first team O-line, which was Dan Moore, Isaac Seumalo, Zach Frazier, James Daniels, and unfortunately Broderick Jones at right tackle. And he couldn't do anything. You can't judge the quarterback play because the O-line is so bad. You can't really give Wilson a grade. You can't really base it. You can't give it a judgment call because he just wasn't able to do anything.
No, it's really hard to evaluate exactly what we could get from Russell Wilson in the regular season. The O-line was that bad, and I'm talking specifically about Broderick Jones.
Yeah. It was
that man was pushed around. That man was being played. He was being played around by Greg Russo.
He was getting played with. He allowed 2 sacks. What was it, like 4 pressures? He looked bad out there. He obviously looked out of position because he is. And I don't blame his play on mostly Broderick because the O-line coach does him no favors. Keep in mind, the same O-line coach that we've had develop what has already been a horrible offensive line in the past 2 years. We kept him while drafting 3 extra rookie linemen this year and putting Broderick back at the right tackle position. And now we have to because Fatanu's hurt, and we don't know when he's going to be back.
Yeah, and the Steelers did I consider a piss poor job of getting proper swing depth or a better right tackle depth piece for Fatanu.
They did themselves no favors because Fatanu got hurt, and they had to lean on the first-round pick and Broderick Jones being the right tackle because that's where he played the majority last year, when the long-term vision is to move him back all the way over to left. But because Fatanu's hurt, they have no other option, and that's the Steelers' fault. They should have done a better job at acquiring better tackle depth or swing depth instead of saying, hey, Broderick can do it. Let's have him do it instead, even though, hey, he should start at left tackle over Dan Moore so we can actually see what kind of tackle we have. Instead, what we saw tonight was Broderick Jones getting absolutely beat the fuck up, swear jar, allowing 2 sacks. He was getting manhandled, overpowered. Everything about him is just rough.
Even against second stringers, he was still in there toward the tail end of the first half, and he allowed a pressure toward Justin Fields. This was against a second-string edge rusher.
It was the worst we've seen Broderick Jones. He looked more like a rookie this year than he did last year.
That was not a good sight to see. I was very disappointed in Broderick Jones.
And again, I don't put all the blame on him because the Steelers are doing him no favors with his development because they keep moving him from left to right. They can't hone him on one sole position or what is his most comfortable position, which is messing up so much. His hand usage, his footwork, his technique. He can't hone down on any craft because he's just tossed everywhere. It's unfortunate. They need to end this experiment. In my opinion, they need to find someone, I don't know how, trade for somebody, sign somebody, because the sooner you get Broderick back over to the left, the better. Because once Furtado comes back, then we can confidently move Broderick back over to the left. But until then, they got to do something. They got to put someone else there but Broderick so you can help Broderick in his development as soon as you can. The problem is they won't because there's no one out there and they have no other options. The Steelers fucked up in that department.
Yeah.
And now Broderick is going to have to stay at right where if he puts up performances like this, it's not good.
No, in the past 2 weeks for preseason, the right tackle position has been the biggest red flag, I would say. Furtado gave up 2 sacks last week. He didn't look good in his debut, and he got hurt in that game. And then Broderick just out of position, and he had a very visible cast on his elbow. So,
right. So that could
his elbow may be affecting him. It could be playing a part in his play, I'm sure. But, I mean, Broderick just overall did not look good.
No.
He looked bad.
It was disappointing and very concerning. I am starting to get concerned about Broderick Jones, and not just on his play, which, again, I don't entirely blame it all on him. I'm more so concerned about Broderick Jones in terms of the way the Steelers are trying to build him.
Or how they view him, really.
Yeah, they view him as the swing tackle backup. And honestly, when Furtado gets back, will he be the starter at left tackle? I don't think so. They have a man... Dan Moore has some blackmail on somebody or something because once Furtado gets back and he's the right tackle, I don't think Broderick's being the starter at left, at least not immediately.
No, because they could view Dan Moore as that experienced starter. He started at left tackle for the past 3 years, and Broderick didn't look too good, so we'll just have Broderick be that swing backup, although we traded up in the first round for him, and we'll just have Dan Moore go with it at left tackle while Furtado comes back from injury and is his day one starter at right tackle.
Yeah. So, listen, I still like Brody, man. I'm still a big fan of him.
I still got hopes. I still got hopes for Broderick. I just need to see how he is full-time at left tackle.
Yes.
Because I remember that game last week against Baltimore when Dan Moore was injured. Broderick had to step in at left tackle.
His only start at left tackle
And the guy was a brick wall. He had 0 issues in that game.
Yeah.
That was against the division rival of Baltimore's pass rush.
So that's the only saving grace with Broderick is let's put him back over to the left and let's see what we really got in him. But when will that time come?
We need to see him full-time at left tackle to really get a full assessment of how he is as an offensive lineman. But as a right tackle, no more.
No.
No more. I'm sorry.
No, especially in pass protection. He is just abysmal. That's disappointing. Again, I don't blame it all on him. But the unfortunate truth is he's going to have to stay there till Furtado gets back. So it's either step up or step aside. Truth is they have no one to step him aside for, so it's like he really has to step up now.
Yeah, he has no choice.
They are hurting his development, but the Steelers have no choice, and that's their fault. That is their fault, unfortunately. But the biggest concerns out of this game was still the O-line play because not only Broderick had a rough game, I saw Frazier on the ground a little bit. I mean, he's a rookie. It's going to happen.
But he got a lot of playing time because Nate Herbig suffered a significant shoulder injury, which means Frazier will now be the starting center. So he got a ton of playing time, a ton of reps. He had some solid ones here and there, but yeah, I mean, he was seen on the ground a bit too much for our liking.
Right. And the quarterback play, again, some of it is just hard to evaluate because O-line play is rough. Russell Wilson, his first game as a Steeler, I can't really judge.
No, Russ ended the game with 8 of 10 for 47 yards. That was it.
I can't judge.
And he took 3 sacks.
Yeah, he got us down the field that one time where Boz missed a field goal, but
52 yards, yeah.
that's it. And then Fields came in towards the end of the first half and played the rest of the game. And Fields, I guess he looked better. I guess. You know, he used his legs more, which was good to see. He had 2 fourth down opportunities to get first downs and essentially score. The first one was the most predictable play call that I could ever remember, more predictable than anything Matt Canada could ever call. It was a 4th and 2, and everyone and their mama, everyone and their sister-in-law, baby cousin, Tracy, could have known what was going to happen, man. He ran a fucking read option with Justin Fields, and everyone on that defense seen it coming.
Like, as soon as he had the ball in his hands, as soon as he was running, everyone's eyes was glued on Fields. They read it like a book, like a Dr. Seuss book.
And then, like you said, the last opportunity Fields had, or the second last opportunity Fields had, he overthrew T.J. Luther for what should have been an easy touchdown, which could have won them the game. And then he had that crazy acrobatic play. It's like the wave of Justin Fields. Misses an open touchdown, has an acrobatic play. He had another 4th and 2 situation where the receiver dropped it, but he still couldn't convert. It's just like those situations are concerning when it comes to the quarterback room, especially when he's trying to battle for the quarterback 1 spot. It's like when he had the chances, when he had the opportunities, he just couldn't step up to the plate.
No, he couldn't.
That's not good when you look back at this game. But there's still one more preseason game, so we'll see what these guys do. I'd imagine they're going to get similar playing time. Russell Wilson get the entire first half. Fields will get the entire second half. They're going to give these guys as much opportunity as possible. Maybe it's vice versa. We'll see.
Or maybe they mix them in. Russ gets a drive. Fields gets a drive because these guys need to get some communication, some chemistry going with the starters.
With the ones, yes.
Because Russ got it with the first team. Fields got it with the second and third team. Maybe next week they want to mix it around a bit. Maybe Fields starts the game initially, and then the next drive, maybe Russell Wilson goes in and they go back and forth. Maybe they do that. I don't know.
Right.
You know, just to get these guys, again, another chance at a game, another fair opportunity to compete.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, that's the biggest talking points coming out of the Steelers versus Bills preseason game is there are still concerns with the O-line, and the quarterback room is still very uncertain. You can't judge much of it because of the O-line play, but in some cases you can judge it because, you know, it's just one of those things where none of them can get points on the board. And they're 2 very experienced starters. It's a little concerning. But here's the good of it. Shout out to Enzo with a 2. Said, did the O-line get changed when Fields came out? Of course he did.
Yeah.
He played with the 2s. Spencer Anderson was playing. Ryan McCollum was playing. Zach Frazier was playing. Like, yeah, he got to see a lot of time with a bunch of the backups pretty much. But the good thing I'll say about this is it's preseason. What I noticed last year is last preseason, the Steelers were flawless. The offense was flawless.
Not one issue.
Not one issue. And then they went into the regular season with mistake after mistake, game after game. The thing with this, and thank God it's preseason, because at least they can get their mistakes out of the way and then improve on said mistakes. They can work on those mistakes. I guess that's the positive with this game is let them get that out of their system now, let them understand where they're failing, and then they can improve the game after. But as of now, I don't know who the week 1 starter is at quarterback, and the O-line play is very concerning. Another thing I'll say is, and I know it's preseason, and I'm not trying to overreact, but all I'm saying is for the majority of the first half, we saw the entire first team offense, like the week 1 starting offense, which was Wilson at quarterback, Najee, Warren, who went out with a hamstring. We had Van Jefferson, we had George Pickens, we had Pat Freiermuth, we had the entire starting offensive line outside of Fatanu. They played the majority of the first half, and they offered nothing. They didn't do anything.
No,
it was
didn't.
honestly a repeat of last year, just a different cast of characters. It was a Matt Canada offense with variety, with more pistol, with more play action, with more under center.
Yeah, but
with more deep shots.
But what did it lead to? Not a touchdown. It led to nothing. Whether it's preseason or not, we're trying to upgrade. We're trying to have better play.
But again, it's good that this is happening in the preseason because they can work, they can improve, and hopefully we see that next week. One more preseason to go. One more preseason game to go. We'll see what the quarterback play is then and there, and of course the O-line play. So fingers crossed that we get something better and something a little more promising because so far this preseason has been sloppy, but at least it's the preseason. That's all I can say. Let us know your guys' thoughts down below, man. Player of the game to me is definitely Cameron Johnson.
Honorable mention is Nick Herbig. He got a sack and a half.
Herbig's a stud. We all know that.
Killebrew got a pick off Mitch Trubisky. That was good to see.
That was enjoyable to see.
That was good to see. I'll take that.
2 years of watching Mitch throw interceptions to other people, it's good to be on the receiving end.
But other than that, I mean, it was pretty much, just sloppy. Again, just like last week, it was just sloppy.
Sloppy and probably worse.
It might have been, yeah. I mean, and that's the problem. It's a consistent thing, and it's not good.
Yeah,
they got to work on it, and they got to work on it ASAP.
Yeah, hopefully we see some of that next week. So let us know your guys' thoughts down below. How you guys feel about the quarterback situation. How you guys feel about the O-line? How you guys feel about Brody, man? Let us know your guys' thoughts down below. See you in the next one. Here we go, Steelers.
As always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!